We are often told that news is objective. However, as Nietzsche said, there are no facts, only interpretation. News isn't truly neutral. It's a choice shaped by culture and power. It looks like truth, but it's really a surface shaped by institution economies and ideology. So we have to ask, is news truly objective? How do power and representation challenge our illusion of neutrality? Maybe objectivity itself is a lie. Many still believe that journalism is like a mirror, reflecting reality impartially. But is it really so simple? In 1887, Nietzsche famously wrote, "There are no facts, only interpretation." From this view, the news doesn't present reality. It lacks a version of it. Headlines, interviewees, framing, they are all interpretive choices, just as neutrality. Foucault takes this further. In Discipline and Punish, 1975, he wrote, "Power produces knowledge. The news decides who gets seen and who stays invisible. It is never neutral." Walter Benjamin later warned, in The Storyteller, 1936, that modern information had replaced narrative. The value of information, he said, does not survive the moment in which it was new. In the era of media overload and algorithmic faith, how can journalism maintain even a reality objectivity? And what emotional and ethical cost are we already paying? In today's algorithm-driven media, objectivity is harder than ever. Algorithms seem neutral but carry biases. AI anchors already appear in China and Southern Korea. But who's responsible when they mislead? Algorithms have no accountability. But Foucault said power is everywhere, even in code. News is now driven by click-rate logic. News has also become fragmented. Short videos, notification, headlines. We score, we click, we forget. Benjamin called this the poverty of experience. When information is reduced to immediacy and utility, narrative and meaning collapse, we get fragments stripped of context, not a whole that help us decide. Fragmentation erodes meaning. Objectivity becomes biggie, shaky, but it's not just the technology. Journalists face editors' preferences, market pressures, even self-censorship to generate traffic and profits. News has shifted from investigation to emotional provocation. As Alan Bottom argues, the news value of a story depends more on whether it resonates with or angers people than on its social significance. So objectivity isn't the absence of bias. It's a carefully maintained performance, a discourse ritual that maintains order, not truth. When all these forces combine, objectivity looks like theater, not fact. When neutrality falls, how should we respond? When we see a TikTok video summarizing news in 30 seconds, or when AI anchors replace human face, it all appears neutral, efficient, even objective. But who trains these algorithms? Who filters the data? And whose interests are served by this so-called neutrality? Devin Jackson of the Washington Post turns news into short humorous TikTok. He's not just reporting, he's performing. Should we applaud this adaptability or ask why journalism must now become entertainment to be heard? As Alan Bottom put it, we've gotten used to be amused by the news, not reminded of it. But the issue runs deeper than amusement. When news is driven by emotion and attention, it ceases to be a mirror of reality and becomes a system that constructs visibility politically and economically. Here Foucault becomes essential. He argues that news is not a neutral reflection, but a discourse shaped by power. In protest coverage, for instance, Camera shows fires and anger, but rarely the cases. This isn't emission, it's structure. Focus reminds us visibility is a trap. What we say is not reality itself, but the version power allows us to say. We think we are watching the news, but in fact, we are selectively allowed to say it. If neutrality is just a stage, then when the lights go out, will we continue to perform? When you see a piece of news, it may seem like a click, but it's actually a selected view. What you say is not all. Maybe we can't be perfectly neutral, but we can choose to be honest. It's not about pretending to have no position, but being willing to explain it, respond to it, and accept questions.